get to the meat and potatoes of the episode and preview UFC 262. We're going to get the first matchup started, which is a bantamweight matchup between Matt Schnell, who is 15-5 and is a minus 160 favorite, going up against Rogerio Bontorin, who is 16-3 and is the plus 135 underdog. He came in after Alex Perez had to bail out due to injury. So, and then if you know Bontorin, he's the one that just fought in March and lost to Kai Kara France. Mm-hmm. And then as he should, he wanted to get back on the fold as soon as possible to get on the right track. And then before I get started with you, I just want to do a note that this is a bantamweight matchup, but they're going to be, but they usually fight at flyweight. They didn't really say too much about why they're doing it at bantamweight, but these are two flyweight contenders in this matchup. What are your opinions of this matchup?
Yeah, to kind of go off of what you were saying, this could be a common thing going forward with weight cuts. We've seen with Ryan Benoit a few weeks ago how brutal that weight cut was. So maybe that this is the next step the UFC is taking. We saw it last week with Rodriguez and Waterson, where they went up to flyweight, and these two guys are going up to bantamweight given the short notice. But with this card, honestly, I need to redeem myself. Last week, I went like 1-4, and if anybody bet it, used my picks as money, and I doubt that, but anybody used that to bet, I apologize. But with this this matchup, just like every fight on this card, it was impossible for me to pick. Like this was a pick 'em for me, like every other one I'm going to talk about. But this is a good matchup between two guys who are looking to take the next step in that flyweight division. Schnell is the type of fighter to throw a lot of strikes in his fights, and his last fight he threw over 700 strikes. Went full 15 minutes, but 700 strikes is nothing to bat an eye at. He throws high volume, but only lands about 37%, whereas Rogerio throws significantly less. I believe he throws about 2.1 per minute, but he shoots more often per fight. In my mind, Schnell is going to do what he does. He's going to throw a whole bunch of strikes. He's going to mix it up. He likes to go for the leg kicks. He likes to add some body strikes in there. But I see him throwing more leg kicks to keep Rogerio at distance to stop the takedown. I see Rogerio counter-striking and looking to pick his spot for the takedown. And he's going to probably catch a couple kicks, and that would be his opportunity to kind of sweep the leg and get down. If it gets to the ground, I'm going to go with Rogerio. I give him the advantage. He's pretty good on the ground. A lot of his wins come from submissions. Schnell's coming out of Team Alpha Male, so he's got that wrestling background. This is going to be the common trend for this fight, wrestling backgrounds versus BJJ guys. But with all that being said, I'm going to go with Matt Schnell by decision, just because of that short notice.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one for me. We got Matt Schnell, who beat Naoki Inke, Luis Maka, Jordan Espinoza. He lost to Alexander Pandroya by KO, and then he beat Tyson Nam. That was probably one of his best overall fights that he's did. And then but he's won 5 of his last 6 fights, so he's kind of on the up and up. Whereas Bontorin has lost his last 2, but he beat Gustavo Gabriel, he beat Magomed Bibliotov, he beat Julian Paiva, and then he lost to Ray Bork. That was he just got destroyed in that matchup. And then he was actually winning the Kai Kara France fight. And then Kai Kara France winds up finishing him later in the fight. He just caught him with a great shot and then got what I call he got the miracle win there because he was losing going into that round. And then he just picked it up. Matt Schnell is the minus 165 favorite. He fights out of Shreveport, Louisiana. He's 31. He weighs 126 pounds, 5'8". He has a 72.5 reach advantage, whereas Bontorin is plus 140 underdog. He fights out of Colombo, Parana, Brazil, 29 years old, the 126 pounds, 5'5" height, and then 67 reach. And then he fights out of Guerrero Ribeiro team. And then Matt Schnell fights out of ATT. But this is going to be an interesting matchup because they both have a wrestling background. But Bontorin is more of he's going to get you down, and then he'll be able to. He knows what to do when to get down. I think Matt Snell can get guys down, but he gets a little bit hesitant at times when he's down, and then he allows you to even when he's on top. I think he's more content when he's on his back, and then he likes to go for submission attempts at all times. Whereas Bontorin, he's going to be the stereotypical, I'm going to get you down, get you in guard, and then ground and pound you.
Yeah.
But there's a little bit of that. I give the advantage in the ground game to Bontorin, but in the stand-up, I give the advantage to Matt Snell. He has more of the boxing, the quickness. He's better with his hands. And there's a little thing in this matchup that's going to be key. It's whenever they're moving around the cage, Bontorin has this uncanny ability. It's not a good one to where he's moving around. He circles back to the same spot. He doesn't randomly go to different spots. So I feel like Matt Snell could cut the cage and catch him where he goes, and then just catch him good. Bontorin usually leaves an open spot to hit him. And then same with Snell. Snell usually does that right hook, but and then he'll take a shot to hit a shot. I've had a tough time deciding who I really was going to have win this, but when I looked at it, it's like if they're going to stand for majority of the fight, it's going to be Matt Snell all day with his striking. But if for some reason this goes to the ground for a large majority of the time, it's going to be hard to go against Rogerio Bontorin in this because he's going to be motivated to do that, and he's going to be motivated to get the win.
Yeah.
Whereas Matt Snell, he'll be content getting taken down by Rogerio because he's going to be too busy going for the submission. So if he can't stuff him, I'll have to go with Bontorin. But if he can stuff him, I have Snell, and I feel like Snell will be able to at least stuff one of them, and I think that'll be the keenness. But I think I got Matt Snell by a unanimous decision in this. I think he'll win 2-1. Okay.
Yeah, same. I made a mistake. I said that he's from Team Alpha Male. He recently switched to American Top Team. The thing is, I agree with you on this fight, but these guys are coming in 10 pounds heavier than they would walk into, plus the added weight after the weight cut. So, you have someone like Schnell who throws a lot. I didn't even think about the gas tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the wrestling background, they usually have great gas tanks, but coming in 10, maybe 15, possibly 20 pounds heavier than what you're usually fighting at could increase your power, number one, because you're throwing a lot, but also decrease your speed because, you're not used to fighting at that weight. I'm still sticking with Schnell, but that's something to take a look at.
Yeah, definitely. But